right, so I'm going to make a kale salad with quinoa, and it's just about to really pour, and we're going to get the kale picked before that happens. And, you can see the kale just it really does well here. It likes to grow, and this curly kale is a little more difficult to deal with than the flatter kale, but that's why it's still left, because we ate all the flat kale.
Yeah, we're waiting for this plant to grow. I really like that one. I kind of like the chewy crunchiness of it.
It's super chewy.
I think it's good for you. You burn calories while you're eating it.
It's hard to get off the stems, but you know, you do get a nice big fat bunch quickly.
I know we still need to give some more away probably. See how it holds up in the storm that's coming.
Okay, I think that's going to be enough.
Let's see.
It's a handsome bundle. Okay, so I just about got this all washed up. Kale, especially this really wrinkly leaf stuff, is really difficult because there's places with things to hide. And it's been out there in the garden for a while, so it catches all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, look at all the
Like
goodies.
these are the seeds from the Tower of Jewels.
There's a snail.
Oh, look, he's still crawling.
Yeah.
Lucky little guy. So next we'll cut these up and work on, we got to cook our quinoa ahead too, so we'll be working on that. I've got some, oh, it's almost ready. We can start the quinoa. So I've got 2 cups of broth. Usually I would use beef broth. It really doesn't matter what kind, but I'm going to use duck broth today because
We have it.
yeah, we have it. We're out of beef broth. We have lots of duck broth. Quinoa, it's a good idea to rinse it. You don't know where it's been. And then all you do is put your quinoa in a pot with your, this is 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of broth. Put it all together in a pot, bring it to a boil, turn it down and simmer it for 15 minutes. Take it off the heat and let it rest for 5 minutes. And it's ready to go. We're going to have to cool this down because we're putting it in our salads. So this is a good thing to make ahead before you start cutting on your kale. So this just goes in with the broth, and we'll bring that to a boil and cook away. So we're simmering along nicely here. It still has 10 minutes to go of this. That's about how you want it to be. This part, getting the kale into a usable form, is pretty tedious. First of all, this giant rib right here, not very edible. I mean, I suppose you could cook those if you wanted, make them tender, but
Why?
yeah. So anyway,
Well, we have so much. I guess if you don't want to waste it.
yeah, if you cut your kale off there and find a way to scrunch it up somewhat, then you can take little slices, just real thin.
There you go.
And I want you to notice knuckles out so that the knife slides down. And then if you're going to have your knuckles out, make sure your thumb is behind them, because if it's not, you'll know soon enough. But yep.
So this sometimes takes a little while to do. So you know, if you have some way to entertain yourself, I guess.
We're doing this while the quinoa is cooling. And, in that fashion, we're multitasking. And just like that. So now this recipe, the amount of kale, you know, I think it's, when you get kale at the store, I think it's just comes in different size, random size bunches. So I don't know how to tell you how much kale. It should be, I don't know, a bunch or 2. If it's a small bunch, maybe 2.
They're probably about 6 pieces, I'd say, in a bunch. At least the ones that we usually buy.
Yeah, so this is more like...
And you can buy it in a bag already off the thing.
10, 12, 13, 14, 13. This is somewhere between 12 and 14 kale leaves. And it's going to be plenty. It's a lot.
Almost like a double batch, really. But
Oh, yeah. This isn't just for one meal. This is to have for a couple of lunches, some snacks.
and it does keep really well in the fridge for several days when it's all said and done.
And onward.
All right, guess we'll check back when you've got this job done.
Those other kale out there, the red Russian, the leaves are a little flatter, so you can bunch several of them together. This, they're so lumpy that it's really just one at a time.
Okay, we'll come back later.
Okay, so I have made this big pile of cut up kale. And then to that, I'm going to add maybe a half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt. And this is just preliminary. We're going to put a dressing on this later. But for right now, we want to work some oil into this, which will help to tenderize it. So we're going to go with just about a quarter cup of oil. And I'm using peanut oil. You can use any kind of oil you'd like. Totally unflavored oil. You could use olive oil. You could use a sesame oil. I don't know what other, you could use hash oil. No, don't do that.
No, avocado oil maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know, that might be interesting.
it would, but it's probably going to be too
It's
strong.
another version of cooking with cannabis, I guess.
Yeah, I think you could do that with a measured amount in the dressing if you wanted to.
Just remember when you have it for lunch that you
Yeah.
get that. Okay, we digress.
But, so I'm just going to just try and work this oil into this as thoroughly as I can. And that giant pile of kale should reduce by some. It's not going to reduce, you know, it might reduce by as much as half by the time we're all done with this. But we really want to work this oil into it everywhere. And this, folks, is giving your kale a massage.
Everyone always asks us, do you massage your kale?
I massage always when I'm putting the dressing on.
I'm feeling like I'm having a neck ache right now. Maybe.
Okay, here, come.
No. Because you're being so tender.
So this is a good and messy job. I enjoy it. It's just for that factor alone.
Because it torments your cleanup crew.
So now we are going to leave this just sitting in as oily kale for a good half hour. And these leaves will continue to tenderize. So while our kale is resting and our quinoa is cooling, we can make the dressing. I have here 3 garlic cloves all chopped up. I have the zest of 1 large lemon. And I'm going to use the juice of said lemon. And I'm going to measure this because what I'm after is about 3.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. And if I don't get enough, I'm going to get another lemon out.
You have to be strong to do that because those are really
I think
hard
I got
to squeeze.
it. 1 lemon though. Yeah, 1 lemon's going to work on this one.
They seem to be about 2 tablespoons a piece, I've noticed.
Well, I'm thinking this one's more because that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, here we go. And then we are going to get a tablespoon of the Dijon These squeeze bottles are pretty good, but they have their drawbacks.
Yeah.
But when you get it working, you can measure pretty well. And we are going to use a teaspoon of white sugar. There was a teaspoon of something else. A half a teaspoon of pepper. And a half a teaspoon of salt. And you notice I'm doing this in a little ice cream container thing, so I can just shake it and I won't have to worry about mixing this.
Well, you could use it in a jar that that seals well.
And 3 tablespoons of our peanut oil. And again, this could be any oil. I just like adding that extra nut quality. And a short dash of some chili oil just to make it interesting. And that is everything that goes in the dressing. And all we're going to do is shake this up, and when we're ready, we're going to put it on our kale.
Okay.
All right, so we have some stuff to add to our salad, and that's what makes this salad unique. And so what I've got here is 1 cup of almonds, and I'm going to chop them up. And you'll find that if you just keep going at them with a knife, you get them all chopped. And I'm going to put them in a dry pan on a medium-high heat and just toast them a little bit before we put them in the salad. And this is a really nice texture to get in this salad. I'm going through it. So chop one way and chop the other, and for the most part you'll have a few pockets of nuts that didn't get chopped, but you can go back and get them.
This looks like it's exercise, your whole ordeal here, so that's not bad.
No.
Burn some calories while
It's as much exercise as chewing the kale is.
Right, that's what I'm kind of saying. The whole ordeal.
It really takes a lot to make this kale edible, but we're up to the challenge.
And it is really good. It's worth it.
I know some people like it just as it is, but I'm not one of them.
Oh, like we don't really care for it cooked.
Well, no, we've made it
We've
cook
had it a couple ways,
good. It's worked out.
This is our preferred.
But all right, so I have more or less chopped my nuts. And I'm going to put them in a hot pan. This is like medium high, no oil. I just want these to toast a little bit. I do not want them to burn, which means you have to pay a little bit of attention to them.
Somebody just messed up my stove again.
Okay, and so while those are heating up, we are going to add some dill and some fennel to our salad. Now, you might want a little more than this. This is dill and fennel together. It's October in the garden, and you know we don't have, you know, things are at the end of their life, so we have a little bit of both. And but this will be fine. It'll add that extra little bit of flavor to the dill and fennel. No, that's not what it is.
What'd you say?
I said dill and fennel. It's dill and cilantro.
Oh, cilantro. Oh, that's quite a bit different.
It is quite a bit different. You could put fennel in. You know, anything.
Yeah, we have a little still.
Pretty much anything that works with dill works with fennel, since they're sisters. Keep our nuts moving around in the pan, and then we're going to use a little bit of onion, and I'm just going to cut these really thin. And you know, we're not cooking this onion, so it's up to you how much raw onion you like to eat. For me, a little is good, and that's about it. So then we'll cut them into a smaller dice here. And dicing, you just go one way, and then you go the other way. And this is not particularly a small dice. This is just a dice. And those go in. So we're getting some, this is going to give some crunch and a little bit extra flavor.
Stir your nuts.
And yep, stir the nuts. Smell them. They're toasting just a little, and that's all we really want them to do. It's really a, there's nothing visual going on here. It's mostly, I can smell them toasting. And you will see them start to get a little tiny bit browner if they stay here long enough.
Oh, we're popping a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. There we go. See, there's a brown one.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes them a little crunchier. It's kind of like the Moroccan nuts that we make for a snack.
And I like the flavor. It's the flavor is toasted almond.
So these are just some. They're not. Are they raw? They're not really raw.
Yeah, they're
are
raw.
they? Okay.
Okay, and then these go into straight into the salad. And we add some feta cheese. And these are, this is pre-crumbled feta, which is mighty convenient. And we're gonna add more in a minute. And then we're gonna add some of our dressing. Now, while you were gone, I doubled this dressing recipe because it just did not look like enough. So we're going to add about half of it. And then here, once again, we get to massage. We should be playing soft piano music.
There you go. Well, you have ways to do that. Well, not right now. You can't actually play.
So, the thing that happens when you have something heavy like nuts, they'll sink to the bottom. So just keep making sure you get pulling up stuff from the bottom. Massage all this stuff together. And the only thing we're going to do to this after this is add the rest of our dressing, probably massage that in, and then we're going to add a little more kale, more feta, and work that in. And that's it. This is the whole salad.
Oh wait, no, where'd your quinoa go?
Oh, quinoa. Jeez.
I just realized that.
Yeah. Quinoa is supposed to be in here with this stuff.
It's an important thing.
Yeah. We didn't miss any steps.
Look how giant this salad is going to be.
This is quinoa is nice in here.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Yeah. This will be a beautiful thing. Let's see if we'll put most of it in.
That looks like plenty, actually.
See if it seems like enough. So what I've often found, I have a bigger bowl, and sometimes what works well is to mix it as well as you can in this bowl and then transfer it to another bowl, and that gets it all mixed. But I think we're going to be fine with one bowl here today.
Yeah, one of those big gigantic metal bowls.
Yep.
growling helps.
Growling does help. So, now I think I will add, I'm going to add the rest of the quinoa.
Just get messy. I already swept the floor, but who cares?
And the rest of the dressing. And then I'm going to mix this.
Maybe mix that in first before you put the...
I don't think so.
Okay, there you go. Now you're doing a better job.
It'll all go. There's one thing, you know, I made this salad once without enough dressing, and it was all right, but it was not the beautiful concoction that I had in mind. And here comes another rain squall. We're having a La Nina storm week, and
It's just starting.
just
to build
starting.
up.
So we're looking forward to that because we really need a lot of water, and it's gonna be great. A lot of fun. We really need a lot of wind too.
A lot of fun.
Oh, you
Are we
bet.
gonna go puddle jumping and
Well, we could
run through the
We
wind?
can if you want.
Yeah, got the boots.
We go for a plane ride. So now I want to add more feta, but this isn't where you said just get messy, right?
No, don't do it. It's gonna be hard to wash off too.
Nah. Okay. A little more feta.
It's good feta that we've been getting at Costco. I really like it. Nice big chunks.
It's really nice.
I have no idea what it costs because it's just good and we just use it.
And I don't want to get my hands dirty, so I'll mix it with a spoon.
That works.
Okay, so here's our beautiful salad. There's really a lot of it, as you can see, so this is going to serve us for dinners and lunches for a week. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we have a big bowl of this for lunch.
That's-
And Matthew puts hot sauce on his. A little extra Maldon salt sometimes makes it good.
Oh, and one suggestion, if you like a little bit of heat, put some chili flakes in your, red pepper flakes in your dressing.
Oh,
And that gets around in there.
that sounds good.
You know, I put the chili oil in at the beginning, so that kind of will do the same thing. But there you have it. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.